Hello students, in this video we're going to be working on multiplying and dividing fractions. So at the end of this lesson, you should be able to simplify expressions by multiplying or dividing fractions. So the first thing we're going to look at is multiplying fractions. And the big question is, are you multiplying? And if you are, all you need to do is multiply across and simplify. So for example 1, you'll notice that yes, we are multiplying, so we are going to multiply across, and we have 6 divided by 28. Now notice we multiplied, but now we have to simplify. Now both the 6 and 28 are divisible by 2, so we're going to divide the 6 by 2, which gives us 3, and we are going to divide the 28 by 2, which gives us 14. Example 2, same idea. We're going to go ahead and multiply across, so that's 20 divided by 49. In example 3, we have 5/4 times 7/15, and that gives us, well, before we do all that multiplication, let's notice one very important thing. We can multiply across, so we're going to write it as such. And before we start doing this complex multiplication, what we are going to do is cancel a few things out. Now I know that 5 and 15 both have a 5 in common, so I'm going to divide each piece by 5. That gives me 3 here, and that gives me, I apologize, that gives us 1 here, because 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 15 divided by 5 is 3. So now we multiply across. 1 times 7 is 7, and 4 times 3 is 12. So this is much easier than trying to simplify after we've done that multiplication. Dividing fractions is just as easy. In the past, you were told to invert and multiply, or multiply by the reciprocal. What I would like us to really consider is either copy dot flip or keep flip change, whichever one is going to help you remember best, and they both work the same way. So in example 1, because we're dividing, we can copy. Taking a look at example 1, we can copy, which we just did. We copied the first term, we put a dot for multiplication, and we flip the second term. So copy dot flip. So now that we're multiplying, remember the rules for multiplying is to multiply across. We have 3 times 8, and we have 4 times 5. Again, I noticed that there is the 8 on the numerator and the 4 in the denominator have a 4 in common, so I'm going to divide both of those by 4. That gives me a 2 here and a 1 here. So 3 times 2 is 6. And 1 times 5 is 5. In example 2, we're going to do the same thing, but instead of saying copy dot flip, we're going to keep change flip. So we keep the first expression, or the first term. We change the second term. We're changing it from a division to a multiplication. And we are going to flip the last thing. So now we have 2 times 3, which is 6. And 5 times 1 is 5. Example 3, same idea. We are going to copy dot and flip. So we're going to flip the second term, that's 9 halves, and again, I notice that there's something in common. We know that the 6 and 9 both have a 3, so I divide that by 3, and it's 2. And I divide this by 3, and we're left with 3. Your final answer is 15 fourths. And that's your final answer. Example 4 I put in just to make sure we cover it. Notice that there's only one fraction, but we're still dividing with fractions. So we do the same thing. We copy instead of this division bar right here, we're going to change it to a dot for multiplication. And then again, we are going to change. So now it's a whole number 8, or 8 divided by 1. When we flip that over, that becomes 1/8. And when we multiply across now, it becomes 5/48. So now it's your turn. Try these 4 problems and we'll take a look at them in class the next day. That's all for now. I'll see you guys next time.